Should you invest in individual stocks? $1 million question, because maybe if you do, you'll get $1 million. And maybe if you do, you might miss out on $1 million. That might sound kind of tricky, but um, that's a tough one. That you have people that are in one side of the camp that say individual stocks inherently super risky, do not do it, and then other people that say, well, if you really want to build wealth quickly, then and quickly is relative. I mean, at a quicker pace than investing in the index, then of course you have to invest in individual stocks. Well, let's talk about it, because there's not a right answer. There's not a wrong answer. And I have flip flopped all over the place on this one, and I'm in and out of individual stocks. And so I feel like I'm a pretty good candidate to talk about it, because one week I'm saying index investing, that's all I'm doing anymore. And then the next week I'm putting some money into an individual stock. I'm constantly riding that line. I'm Max with Stock Masters, and yeah, we'll talk about individual stocks today. And again, there's kind of two schools of thought. And this is the spectrum. You have people that only want to invest in individual stocks, and then people that only want to invest in index funds or ETFs. Which way is right? I'll say first and foremost, if you want to be conservative and you don't have a huge interest in investing, and like you're totally fine just like keeping it simple and just, hey, I'm just going to put on reoccurring deposits into my investment account, and it's going to put it into this index fund, and easy peasy. That's what I'm going to do. That's the way I want to skin it. Yes, do that. Do that, because spoiler alert, chances are you're going to get about the best gains you can. You're going to get better gains than the vast majority of people by just doing that, setting it and forgetting it, and just, that's all I'm going to do. That's all, like, easy peasy. Like, you will outperform most people that way. And a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Warren Buffett? What about so-and-so? What about these guys that outperform all the indexes for the last 5 decades or whatever? It's like, those people do exist, but the vast majority of people that are trying to outperform the index or the market end up underperforming it, because they're constantly dipping in and out of stocks, and you just end up shooting yourself in the foot by being overactive in your portfolio. And I've seen it myself, like, years ago, I've seen it myself. Like, shoot, I would have been better off just investing in the index. The index outperformed my individual stock picks. Okay, so that's the simplest approach. And for the people, again, that are not like gung-ho, I love investing, I want to learn more about this and become Warren Buffett, just do that. Just invest in the index. Keep it simple. Invest as much money as you can possibly invest into the stock market as you reasonably can, while still having liquid cash to cover your expenses and have like a reasonable amount of savings. That's like a pretty solid plan right there. And the people that say, no, I want to invest in individual stocks, my advice is, like, go ahead and do it, especially if you can't help yourself. And I'm one of those people. I'm not saying like you people have a special condition. Just, do what you invest in your individual stocks. You're probably going to underperform, but too bad. No, I mean, I tend to do it too, because I, like anyone else, want to think that I'm above average and I can beat the market. So what I do is I try to keep it pretty reasonable. I invest a ton of my money into index funds and ETFs, the vast majority, in fact. But I do have individual stock holdings that I truly think are good, reasonable investments based on, research, and like my research, it's iterative, and it's constantly, it's like a supercomputer. It's constantly getting smarter and adapting and just getting better. Like, I've come a long way, and I mean, nowadays, typically, I'm a little more inclined to invest in value stocks, individual value stocks. Not to say there's not any other way to do it, but to me, that's a very safe, like Warren Buffett-esque Ben Graham approach. So that's kind of my style when it comes to individual stocks. But listen, if you want to invest in individual stocks, go for it. Like, investing in individual stocks, and this is something that people don't talk about as much, is more fun than investing in index funds and ETFs. So if it's going to be a hobby for you, investing in individual stocks, and you know that statistically you're going to maybe slightly underperform the market by investing in individual stocks, it's basically like, to me, the justification is you're kind of paying for your hobby, and then there's the upside. It's like, If you're investing in good, solid companies that have low amounts of downside and huge amounts of upside, then worst case scenario is over time you're going to slightly underperform the index, which sucks because you're leaving money on the table, which I don't want to do. I know you don't. No one wants to get a lesser return than they could have if they invested in the index. However, at the same time, it does kind of keep things interesting. So some people need need that stimulation and that like excitement when it comes to this, because investing can be pretty boring and cut and dry without that. A devil's advocate, although it's like, well, give it 10 years and you see that your portfolio is returned 100+%, hypothetically, it's like, well, okay, that's not boring to me. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty awesome. So it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, like anything else, I'm a big proponent of do what you want to do. Like, I'm not gonna cram anything down anyone's throat. Like, if you want to invest in individual stocks, be my guest. If you want to invest in more like index funds, be my guest. And I personally think if you're going to invest in individual stocks, you should definitely allocate some of your capital to index funds and ETFs, without a doubt. But it's just really about how you want that allocation to look. So that's my take on it. Individual stock investing versus index fund and ETF investing. Do what you like, and do what makes sense to you. So I'm Max with Stockmasters. Comment down below. Let me know what you typically do when it comes to this. Let me know if you invest in index funds, individual stocks, both. Let me know what you do, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you.